Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Stefano from another design studio. I'm here joined by three friends, colleagues in the denim industry. And we're going to talk about one of the most interesting and fascinating fibers that we're dealing with today, which is becoming very, very relevant and interesting again. So first of all, I would ask my friends here to introduce themselves quickly, and then we can move on with our questions.
Thank you, Stefano. Hi, everyone. My name is Safdar, and I'm a R&D director at Siddiq since Pakistan. And I'm very excited to be at this panel discussion of hemp. And we would like to answer a lot of myths around on hemp. And I hope by the end of this discussion, we'll clear a lot of confusions around hemp. Thank you.
Thank you. Zeeshan?
Thank you, Stefano. Good morning, buongiorno, bonjour, hola, assalamu alaikum. This is Zeeshan from Naveena Denim and today we are gathered here to discuss about the hemp denim. So we will share a few details, our hemp experience with the denim community.
Thank you much. Johan?
Good morning, Stefano. Good morning, everybody. I'm Johan van Heide. I work for Raymond Hugo. I have been working for the group since 24 years in product development, marketing, and sales. And I'm happy to share my ideas. And I would like also to focus on the aesthetics of the fiber, other than the pure sustainability part, which is, of course, super crucial. But I think it's also good to highlight the aesthetics.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. There's a lot of talk nowadays about hemp. It was very, very quiet for many years. And all of a sudden, everybody's talking about this fiber, this new fiber. It's not new at all, obviously. As we know, it's probably the oldest fiber used by mankind. We know cotton is very old. Cotton was cultivated first by humans starting 2,500 years before Christ in the Indus Valley. And it's been around ever since. Hemp is actually older. There's evidence that hemp was cultivated by man since 5,000 BC, or maybe even earlier than that. It's been with us everywhere. It's been used for many uses, not only in textiles, but to make paper. You know, the famous papyrus or papyrus that the Egyptians were using was hemp. It grows, or it used to grow, pretty much in every continent. It grows by itself, and it became one of the most important fibers for men for a very long time. Huge cultivations in Europe, especially I think in Italy, France, and Belgium, North America, South America, all parts of Asia, and it's been very important for our life. Textile, paper, medicinal purposes, so really important. In the US, it used to be really big until the 1930s. And what happened then is that cotton became more important because it was cheaper to produce, because hemp is very labor intensive, at least in the early stage of production. And cotton became cheaper to produce when the ginning machine was invented. At the same time, DuPont was starting to introduce synthetic fibers, and they realized that hemp was a strong competitor for synthetic fibers. And so they lobbied with the government to make it basically classified as a narcotic, and therefore to try to ban it. It was banned in the 1930s in the US. It came back slowly during World War II because they needed all the fiber they could get. And so it had a short resurgence in the 1940s. And then it was banned again, and it virtually disappeared until a few years ago when it was legalized again. I also found some historian who claims that the very first jeans or pants that Levi's made were produced with hemp and not with cotton. Now, I'm not sure about this completely. I saw some of the original canvas pants that were made by Levi's, and they look like cotton, but it is very possible that some of the early canvas that it was using was made with hemp. Which brings us to the first question. I think, and I'd like to answer that one myself, if you allow me. Is hemp marijuana? Is it cannabis? Is it something that will that is a narcotic? So the answer is yes and no. Hemp is in fact cannabis. It is exactly the same plant. Physiologically, it's the same. It's exactly the same as marijuana. But there is one big crucial difference. Hemp only has 0.3% maximum of THC, which is the substance that we enjoy smoking. And just to give you a comparison, if you enjoy smoking one spliff with marijuana, in order to get the same enjoyment, you would have to smoke 1,000 spliffs made of hemp, because that is the difference. You go from 0.3% to almost 30% content of THC. So there is no argument there. There's no question. Hemp is not a narcotic and cannot be smoked and cannot be enjoyed other than for many other purposes. So let's put that one aside and let's start with the questions to you guys. We got same order. Why do you guys are introducing hemp now in your collections? Why do you think it's important in denim?
Thank you, Stefano, for clearing a lot of confusion around hemp. So that's a very interesting question. So why hemp now? So basically, to make it short, so everybody can understand, we need an alternate solution to cotton right now, because the water reserves are decreasing everywhere around the world, and the cotton yield is not so great. And luckily, some people have developed special methods, to cottonize hemp a few years back, and that's why the hemp is back in business. So hemp has a very good yield compared to cotton. It has all the features as cotton. The dyeing affinity is same. The hand fill is also same now after cottonizing the hemp, and it has better yield. But on top, it's a magical fiber. It has some additional features built within the hemp fiber. For textile industry, it is naturally antimicrobial. It is odorless. Then apart from this, it can protect you from ultraviolet rays, and it has better commercial sense. If it gets industrialized properly, and all the people are open up to hemp industrial production throughout the world, then it makes better commercial sense as well. So that's why I believe the hemp is very important for the future of clothing industry, especially.
Super, thank you very much. Zeeshan?
Hemp is actually, it's not a new, a fiber or material to use in textile. As you already explained about the through history, about the interesting facts about the hemp crop. Since hemp was using in a different way, and like a wet spun form in textile, which gives a very specific and a particular hand feel and fabric appearance. Uh, 2-3 years back, some inventor the hemp fiber and introduced as a cottonized hemp, means hemp has ability to mix up with the cotton and other fibers. That was the moment to hemp start creating a hype in the denim industry. So where we have a flexibility to mix hemp fiber with other fibers as well, and that was the moment to people were searching what kind of the material, organic or natural material, which can replace or which can decrease the cotton dependency. So hemp is the right solution, especially cottonized hemp was the right solution to introduce in a denim industry. Are you guys, can you see my screen?
Thank you.
So we can see like a hemp is pesticide free, and cotton is consuming like 25% pesticide over the world. It's a faster growth cycles. I mean, its growth cycles like a 4 months. For a cotton, we need to occupy the land. It's like 8 to 9 months, which is really long. And if we see the water consumption, we can see it's like more than 70% is water consumption. If we see the yield, so we can see the maximum of the cotton is starting of the hemp. So we can see These are the benefits which we are getting from cottonized hemp.
Fantastic, fantastic. If you don't mind, can you close your sharing? Can you stop your sharing? And
Yeah.
I'd like to move quickly to Johan. And maybe Johan, we've covered so far. We already talked about the sustainable features. We talked about the cottonization, which brings it closer to cotton in terms of hand feel and spinability. But maybe you can talk about the aesthetics.
Actually, in Raymond, there's working with hemp since quite long. It's like a tree plant. We have 70,000 vegetable plants, and we actually call our manager the plant manager. It's a really plant manager. So it comes from the philosophy of green, and we use the hemp since very long, and for the aesthetics, because since long we've made qualities for summer and winter. Initially, it was more the idea for summer, but we have worked through different blends and different constructions to make it nice into winter qualities. So it can also look and have the feeling of a warm quality. And not just like sustainable quality, but really like a nice quality. You can see the big brands like Levi's and Contour, Lee Wrangler, they are using hemp for winter and summer now as well, because of the sustainable part, but also because they see playing with the construction, with the blends, you can make beautiful qualities out of it, which is like a bit more authentic. It gives you really more rustic feeling and really nice qualities you can make out of it. So I think that's...
Could not agree more. Thank you so much. What is different today? What do we exactly mean by cottonized?
Cottonized means, hemp is basically bast fiber having a long staple length. It's like sometimes it's 15 to 20 inch. Cottonized means we have to cut our cotton hemp fiber. It's very close to the cotton staple length. Once we cut the cotton close to the cotton staple length, then means we can mix up with the cotton as well. And before go to a cottonized process, right after ratting, there is a ratting process where we have to prepare a long fiber. After ratting process, there is a cottonized process. And there are two different kind of cottonized process in the market at the moment. A few of the cotton hemp suppliers are saying our hemp is like a mechanically cottonized, and few of suppliers are offering chemically cottonized. It's depend on a supplier to supplier. But definitely this is an organic product, so we have to select those processed fiber which is more sustainable, more waterless. So cottonized means that hemp is like a cotton and has the ability to mix up with the cotton and tencel and other fibers as well. I would like to share you a few blends, but what we have done so far. In the beginning, once we take off the hemp development, we started with a 25% hemp and 75% cotton. That time, that blend was really challenging to run in our spinning and dyeing process and weaving process. But by the time gradually we learn about and gradually we increase our content. Now we have gone up to 40% hemp, and rest of the portion is cotton or some other recycled materials as well.
Thank you very much. Maybe Junaid can answer a different question then, because I think you covered it pretty well. What is the affinity of hemp with indigo dye? Being a cellulosic fiber, it should absorb indigo pretty well. But do you still get the ring dyeing when you dye in hemp?
Right. That's another purpose of benefit of cottonized hemp. That Zeeshan has explained in detail. So we made it cottonized. So it can have an dyeing affinity similar to cotton as well. It's so far the product that we have tested, we have not seen any variation, and it has the similar indigo effects as we have done the same shade on other cotton products. So far we have not seen any variation. There are different types of hemp fibers available, like Zeeshan has mentioned. There's a cottonized mechanical hemp, and there's a cottonized bleach hemp. Some people have started with bleach hemp, but that is not really a sustainable hemp product. So that's why we have converted back towards mechanical hemp. So the dyeing affinity is very similar to the cotton, process. So we have not seen much difference, in our trials and the products that we have developed so far.
So finally, one quick question for the whole panel, and this is something that everybody in the industry is asking. Why does it cost so much, and how can we make it cheaper? Because it's got so many fantastic features that I'm looking forward to the day when we can actually use it in massive quantities and reduce our dependency on cotton. So if you can quickly give me an answer, and then we can wrap up.
Okay, so I mean, we all agree here, that it's a best alternate fiber available versus cotton. The only point why it is so expensive, because it's in very early stage after it got cottonized. So right now, only few of the brands are pushing. Levi's is the main driver behind hemp. But I think on the technical side, because of its feature, I think it should be cheaper. Commercially, it should be more viable because it takes less water, it takes no pesticides or herbicides, and it has a better yield versus cotton. You can grow more than 2 crops in a year, if you have the right land available. So I think technically it should be cheaper, but it's just a matter of time because of the demand and supply. It's at very early stage, so I think as the time passes, it will eventually become either same price as cotton or maybe even more cheaper.
Thank you. Zeeshan.
Yeah. The way the brands are pushing to include the hemp collection in their apparel lines. So at the moment, we are definitely lacking the crop size because it's a matter of supply and demand, and uh, different countries having a different rules and regulation. I will first mention here in Pakistan, 2 months back, our government has approved cotton growth in Pakistan, so they have done some legislation on it. So hopefully we will have a bigger crop size in the coming days. Then we can have maximum content of hemp in our garment industry.
Wonderful. Quickly, Johan, if you want to tell us why it's so expensive, and then we can wrap.
Other than the pure cost, I would like to highlight, of course, the marketing and economical side of hemp, which is seen as an elite fiber, let's say, high end. So actually, from fiber until garment, the whole chain is adding a different margin than for a normal fabric. So this way, it's kept at a higher price as well. I think that if everybody who is really concerned about sustainability is happy to reduce the margin, and therefore we can sell more, I think it would help everybody in the whole chain and the planet.
Absolutely, and that's a big discussion, big conversation that we could have some other time. If we're serious about fixing the problems that we have, we also need to be prepared to pay a little bit more for that until it becomes a viable proposition for all. This is all the time we had. I'd like to thank you all very, very much. Shukra, thank you, Bella. Thank you, guys. And thank you to all the listeners. Enjoy the rest of the show. And let's try to make hemp a really strong fiber in the future. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.